Okay. Let's wait for next 2 minutes more. If people joins, then I will start it. Okay. So if you have any doubts in any topic of React, let me know. Okay. So if I open the content, okay, here we have covered everything. I will show this register this one, what we say, for form validations in that end-to-end example, how to do form validations and how to integrate material UI. That also I will show you. So apart from that, I think we have covered all the concepts. So we know use state, we know use effect, use ref, use reducer, use context. So React hooks, fetching the data API, these two topics we will cover in the GitHub search project, with this GitHub search project. Okay. So all this will be covered. Then finally, we are going to develop this end-to-end example. It's completely optional. If you want to learn, if you want to just get the idea about Express MongoDB, we have the sessions. Okay, so in that end-to-end, we will see all this: get, post, put, delete. So up to now, we just seen get, Axios guest, that's getting the data from APIs. Now we will see how we can send the data to server, how we can update the data in server, how we can delete some data from the server. So that everything will be covered in this end-to-end example. Okay, so let's start our session. So first we will develop the home component. The first thing what we want to do, I just want to develop the home component. Okay, so how home component should look like. So let me show you. So landing page, suppose this is my home component. In this home component, I will have the navigation bar, which is by default. Okay, apart from that, what I want here one background image. I want one background image. On the top of that image, I want one black color layer. On the top of that image, I want one black color layer, and I want to show here some content exactly in the center. I want to show content like welcome to React project, like this. Okay, then here some paragraph, here some paragraph, some content. Then finally, I just want to create here one button. Here one button. So like this, I just want to create one landing page. Okay. So let's see how we can do. So for this, I'm just going to use the concept of CSS. Nothing but I'm going to use flex concept in CSS. So we will see how we can write CSS in our React. Done. So let's come to our folder structure. If you see our folder structure, this is a React application. Inside this SRC, I have just created a folder called components. And in that, I have created two subfolders. One is Navbar, in which I have created this Navbar logic. So we know how to create Navbar, right? So I have just used the bootstrap and I have created the Navbar. This is the Navbar. This is Navbar component, entire thing. Apart from that, I have just created one folder called home. In that, I have created home.js. And in this, I don't have anything, just h2 and home component. Apart from that, nothing. We are going to design this home component now. And I have installed some of the library. So what library I have installed? I have installed Axios. I have installed Bootstrap. I have installed React Redux, React Router DOM, Redux. So these are the libraries which I have installed. Okay. So still, if I want to install anything, then I will install on the spot whenever we require that one. So as of now, I have installed this many libraries. Okay. Any doubts up to here? If you have any doubts, just let me know, or any confusion if you have. Okay, So I'm hoping that you guys don't have any doubts. Okay. So let's come and design this home component. So this is home.js. So I'm just removing this home.js. Okay. And now in this home.js, what I want like this kind of structure. First, I want to create one background image. So what I will do, simply here, I will take one container, class name equals to container. Okay. Then I can go with one row, or I don't want any container. So let me have only div. Okay. Inside this div, I will just give a class, one dummy class, my own class, called something called wrapper, or something called background image. So I will give something like bi. Okay. Now for this component, for this home.js, I want to write some css. So what can I do? In this folder, in this home folder, I can create one more file called home.css. Home.css. Now we have home.js, which is our component, and I have home.css. Now I have to link this home.css with home.js. How can we link? Simply in home.js, we have to say import and directly give the path of your home.css. Now both are in the same folder. So / your home.css. Now we have just linked our JS file with this CSS file. Okay. Now here I want to keep certain background image for this div. For this div, I want to give a background image. So what can I do? I will just say here dot bi. Okay. Now this is one. Now here simply I will say background URL, and here I want certain image, background image. So if I want to pick the background image, I will just pick from the pixel.com website. So here something like a landing page, something. So if I go for landing page, then I will get lot of images here. I will just try to pick any image, or let me say something like background image. You can pick any image, whatever image you like, you can take. So I'm just seeing any image. Okay, let me pick this image. Okay, so right click, copy image link, and just come here. Now here I'm just pasting this image. Okay, so these are complete your CSS skills. So I want my image should be center. It should not repeat, no repeat. And it should be fixed. Apart from that, I want background size should be cover. And height of this div should be 100 VH, nothing but 100%. Now save it. Now here also save it. Now if I come here to my application, still I'm not getting anything. If I go to this home, now I got the image. Okay, I just got one background image for this home component. If I go for GitHub search, I don't have anything. Profile, I don't have anything. End to end, I don't have anything. But if I click on the home, I got a background image. Okay, now on the top of this background image, I want to keep one layer, one black color layer, so that my whatever content I'm going to display here, that will be highlighted. For example, let me take here one div. Inside this div, like this, I am taking one div. Now inside this div, I'm just writing some content, something called p, and class name equals to something called display 4. And here I will say welcome to React. And here I will take one more paragraph, and I will take some class name equals to lead. All these are bootstrap classes. So lorem, something like around 50. And click on tab button. Now save it. Okay. Now here I want one button. After this paragraph, I need one button. So let me take one button. And here I will just say something like explore more. And let me make this as a bootstrap button. So something like class name equals to btn hyphen outline something called danger. Now save it. Now if I come here, now see I got this one. If you see this one, so this content is not highlighted that much. It is not highlighting that much. So I just want to give one black color cover on the top of that image, one black color kind of cover. So how you can give means just go to this inner div and give a class called wrapper. For this inner div, I'm just giving a class name called wrapper. Okay, and I just want to write some CSS for this wrapper. So I will come here and I will just say dot wrapper. Okay, so what I want to do, I just want to give one background color. Okay, here I will just take something called RGBA, and I will just give something like 0, 0, 0, want some transparent 0.7. Now here height, I just want height property. Height should be like 100 VH. Now if I save it and come here, now see I got some black color top of wrapper on that image. If I reduce this one, this one, if I say 0.1, then it will look something like this. Now your this image will be more highlighted. So just I want to make transparent. So your transparent values will work from 0 to 1 only. So you have to give certain values from 0 to 1. So if I give here something like 0.4 and save it, now you will get some more transparent like this. Now if I go with 0.5 and save it, I got more transparent. Just I got one transparent layer on the top of that image. Okay, done. Now what can I do? Simply here I can say something called color white. Now save it. Now we got here color white. Now what I want this content exactly in the center, exactly here in the center. So for that purpose, I can make this wrapper as a flex. I can make this wrapper as a flex. So simply I will say display flex. Display flex. Whenever I say display flex, all the children's of this particular div will become flex item. So this two paragraphs and one button became flex items. So if this div is a flex, then the children's of this div will be flex item. So by default, this flex item will be stored like a rows in the rows format. So if you see how it will come, so they came like this. They are like a row format. Now if you want to make this as a column, then you have one property in the flex concept called flex direction. Flex the direction. By default, it will be row. I have to just change to column. I have to just give a value called column. Now, if you save it, now it will come like a column. Now they came like a column. Now I want this content exactly in the center, exactly in the center. So for that, we have something called align items center, and we have justify content center. Now if I save it and come here, now see I got exactly in the center. Okay, now if you want to give certain padding, we can go with the padding as well. So I will just use some padding like around 30 pixel. Now if I save it, now I got some space from left and right side. So I have just given padding. If I say it to 50 pixel and save it, so I got some 50 pixel. So how you want, you can do that. So I will just go for 40. Save it. Now I got 40. Now see, I got like this. Welcome to React, and this one. Still, if I want more transparent here, I can go with 7, 0.7. Now it will look more highlighted. So the content is looking more highlighted. If I decrease this value, if I make it 0.1, then see your content will not be highlighted much. Your content will not be highlighted. That image is highlighting more. So I just want that image should not be highlighted more. This content should be highlighted more. For that purpose, here I'm just giving the value 0.7 and save it. Now I got like this. Okay. So this is how we can design one landing page using flex concept, using flex concept. So if you want, you can just decrease this value to 6 also. So how you want to design, you can design that one. That totally depends upon you. Now this is by default, this is BG dark. BG dark is coming this kind of color. I just want to, I don't want this bootstrap color. I want my own custom color. So for that, what I will do, I will go to this index.css, index.css, which is like a parent CSS file. So here I will say dot bg dark, dot bg dark equals to background. Just I will write background, and here I will take the linear gradient. I will say 45 degree, something like dark red, comma black, dark red, comma black. I'm just combining the two colors, dark red and black. I'm trying to apply that color in the 45 degrees. Now, if I save it and come here, now see it changed. Okay. Or else I can just make like this. First, I will make black, then dark red. First black, comma, dark red. Now, if I save it, now it will come something like this. Here, portfolio, and here this one. We have just customized it. Now, in the same way, for this also, I want this kind of color. For this also, for that, what you can do, just you can just, if you want to override, you can override here. In case if you want to change this particular background color also. Okay, but here I don't want to change. I just want to keep with the same thing. So this is our like home page, just home component. Just we have created one landing page. Apart from that, nothing. Now let's develop this GitHub search. Now whenever I click on this, I want a GitHub search project here. So how we are going to design that GitHub search? So let me go to this paint. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so already we have one paint, right? So let me close this and let me come here. This is our home page we have done. Now I want that GitHub search. Yeah. So first I will create here one GitHub home component. I will create one home component, GitHub home component. Okay. This is like GitHub home component. Now inside this GitHub home component, I will create here one GitHub search component. This is like GitHub search component. Now inside this GitHub search component, I will create one text box. I will just create one text box and I will create one button. I will create one button. Here something called search. Like this search. Now what user will enter some username here, some GitHub username. For example, he is entering my GitHub username. Now, whenever he enter my GitHub username and click on the search, one request will go to the server. One request will go to the server like this. And GitHub Hub, this GitHub Hub is there, right? So they have their own server application. They have their own database. They have their own database. Now, whenever you click on the server, we have to just send one request to this particular server, and with this request we have to send this name, this use whatever user entered in this text box, that name we have to send. Now they will receive our request, they will connect with their database. In their database they will search with this user, is there any account of GitHub or not? If there is an account, then what are the data related to that user? That data will come back to their server application. From their server application, data will come back to our application. Now once the data came to our application, then we will create here Redux. We will create here one Redux store. Whatever data we got, that data we are going to store in the Redux store. That entire data we are going to store in the Redux store. Now this particular user's entire data is present in the GitHub store. Okay, now here we will create two more component. One is like profile component. I will create here one profile component like this. Okay, and here I will create one more called user details component. Details component. Like this details component I will create. Now in this profile component, I will create one card in which I will just have a header and I will have a body section. In the header, I want to display this user's image. I want to display user's image. And here I just want to display username. Here username, some username. Then I want to display bio. If we have written some bio about him, then that bio and one button. Here one profile button. If you click on this profile button, you should navigate to the GitHub account of this user. You should navigate to the GitHub account of this user. This is profile component. Now in this details component, I will just display the details of user, like what his name, what his city, his GitHub account URL name, okay, his repositories links. Like that I will display some information, and all this data, all these images, this bio and all this data will come from this Redux. Means this component and this component, this both the component has to connect with this Redux, and they have to take this data and they have to display here. They have to display here. And all these components we are going to create using functional way, functional component. Everything will follow with the functional approach. Functional approach. Okay, so that we will understand how we can use Redux with the functional approach. Nothing but functional component. We know how to use Redux with class component. We don't know how to use Redux with the functional component. So in this example, we will come to know how to use Redux with the functional component. Okay. So this is how our GitHub component will be. So how many components you have to create? One home component. Then here it will be GitHub search component. This is like your GitHub search component. Okay, this is GitHub profile component, and this is your GitHub details component. So here it should be the search component. Okay, here it should be the profile component, and here it should be the details component. So this many components we are going to create now. Understood the flow? Understood the flow? So this is the, if you go for api.github.com. Now GitHub is going to provide this many APIs to us. This many APIs to us. So here we want this API. First API, I want, I think, this API. First this API. Okay. Suppose here I am just searching some user like this. If I search any username, for example, I am searching my only, and click on enter. Let me remove this double quotes. Now here I am searching my name. Click on enter. Now see, I got my details, my GitHub details. Now you search here Apple company. Now you will get Apple company details, right? Now if I search your name, your GitHub username, then your details I will get here. So these APIs are provided by your GitHub teams. So how many APIs they are providing? They are providing so many, this many APIs they are providing. So for example, if you want repository details, like you might have created lot of repositories. So if you want all repositories details, then these are the things. These are the API. Okay. So like this, I want this API as of now. So this is the API which is created by GitHub. Like this, we are going to create APIs. We are going to create APIs in this end-to-end using Express and Node.js. Okay, there you will understand how they will create the APIs. So you can create these APIs with Spring Boot, with .NET, like ASP.NET MVC. You can create with Django. You can create with something called Node.js and Express.js also. So we are going to choose Node and Express.js to create APIs. So now which technology or which particular language they have used, we are not aware about that. We just know that If we hit to this particular API, we are going to get our required details. Done. Okay, now let's come here and let's create all this. So now inside this component, inside these components, I will just create a folder called GitHub. Okay, first I will create a folder called GitHub. Now inside this GitHub folder, I will create one component called GitHub home, or here GitHub underscore home.js. In the same way, I will create one GitHub search component, search.js. In the same way, in this GitHub, I will create one more, something called profile component, GitHub profile.js. And one more I will create inside this GitHub details.js component. So this many 4 components I have created: home, profile, search, details. Okay. So now let me close all this. Let me close all this. I have just closed everyone. Okay. First, let's go to this home component. Let's go to home component and create one home component like this. Like this home component I want. So for that, I'm just using shortcut RFCE. So I got this one functional component. Here simply I will write h2, and here I will say GitHub home component. Save it. In the same way, I will go to this details, same RFCE tab. Now here also I will write h2 details component. In the same way, I will go to this profile, same RFCE tab. Here h2, and simply I will say profile component. Save it. Now go to search. Here also RFCE. Now here also search component. Now just we have created this one. Just all the dummy components we have created. Okay. So we just created the components. Now let's first design the home component. First, let's design this home component, GitHub home component. So how to design this GitHub home component? In this GitHub home component, first I will take one container. In that container, I will take 2 rows. This is the row 1. This is the row 2. In first row, I will keep search component. In second row, I will divide it into a 2 column. So this will be like 4 column space. This will be like 8 column space. In 4 column space, I will display profile component. In 8 column space, I will display detailed component. Like that I want to design. So let's go to this home component first. This is our home component. Okay, I'm just removing this one. So first I will take here container, class name equals to container. Okay, now this container will contain 2 rows. So row 1, this is the row 1, and this is row 2. In the row 1, I want entire column. I want to take entire column. In this entire column, I want to keep GitHub search component. So simply I will import GitHub search component. Now this GitHub search component I will keep in the first row. GitHub search component. Okay. Now let's come to the second row. In second row, what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide this row into 2 columns. One is call 4 and call -4, and one more is like dot call -8. In the 4, now in the column 4, I want to keep profile component. So I need to import GitHub profile component. So here it will be like profile component. GitHub profile component. Okay. Now here I want detailed component. So import that detailed component. Import GitHub details component. So simply I will say here GitHub, this one, GitHub details component. Now I have just created the home component. Now I need to show this home component whenever user is going to click on this GitHub search. Whenever user is going to click on the GitHub search. So I will first go to this navbar. I will just go to that navbar and I will just see where is my GitHub link. This is a GitHub link. So whenever user clicks on this, I just want to make this to as GitHub. So whenever user clicks on this GitHub search, then in the URL it will be like /GitHub. So if you come here, if I click on this profile, it's a profile. If I click on here, GitHub search, it's like /GitHub. Whenever it is /GitHub, I want to show here GitHub home component. So if I show home component, then profile component, search component, detail component will also be shown. So I will go to this app.js. I will go to the app.js. So here I have just created that routes. Okay, here I just want to create one route. So route, I will say path equals to, if it is a /GitHub, then you have to show the component GitHub home. So for that I have to import it. Import GitHub home component. So here I just need to show GitHub home component. Now save it. Now if you come here, now see, we got this one, search profile details. Okay, now we have to design all this profile details, all that. So from top, I want some space. So I will just go to this GitHub home component. And for this container, I will say empty-5. Empty-5. Save it. Now I got some space from the top. Still, if I want some space for this row also, I will say empty-5. Done. Okay. Now let's come here. Now let's go and design this GitHub search component. GitHub search component. So let me close all this. This one, details also I want to close, profile also close. Only GitHub search. So how our GitHub search will look? This is GitHub search, right? In the GitHub search, I just want one text box and I want one button. I want one text box and I want one button. So for that, I will just make this as a container first. Class name equals to container. In that, I will take one row and I will take entire column. In that, I will take one card. Okay, now this card I will divide into two parts, like card header and card body. Dot card header, and one more is card body. Dot card body. Now in this card header, I will take one h2 and simply I will say GitHub search. GitHub search. And I will just give some background color here, BG, something called primary, and text white, like this. Save it. Okay. Now inside this body, I just want to create one form. So I will just take one div. Inside this div, for this div, I will give class name equals to form group. And inside this div, I will create one input. Input type equals to text, some placeholder like enter username, enter something like username. And here I will just use some bootstrap classes, something like class name equals to form control. Form control. Now just save it. Form control. And after this div, I just want here one button. Button, something called search. Now here class name equals to btn outline primary. Now save it. Now if you come here, now this is how it is going to look like. Okay, this GitHub search, here text box, here something button. I just want this button should come beside. So can I, this card body is there, right? This div, I will make it as a flex, deflex. Now if I save it, now I got this one like this. So now I will just try to increase the size here. Size equals to something like 40 and save it. Now I got something size here, 40. Okay. Now what can I do? For this, I can give something like px-5 and mx-2. So I'm giving padding and I'm giving the margin. So here I got little bit padding and I got margin. Now this is how we can get this kind of user text. Now if you want to increase this text box, you can increase it. You can make it as a 60 and save it. Now you got 60. Okay. Now if you want to provide some padding for this, for example, p-3 space. Now you got, we didn't get any padding here. Yeah, because this became flex. Now this is a GitHub search. Okay, here I will enter some username like this, Kabir Sagi, and I will click on this search button. Whenever I click on this search button, we have to send one request to the server. With that request, we have to send this particular data. We have to send this particular data, and we will get some data to this component. Whatever data we got, we have to store that data in the Redux. Okay. Now let's create this profile component. Now let's first create this profile component. Now this GitHub search is coming on the center. So let me go to this app.css and let me remove all this everything and save it. Now you got here GitHub search. Okay, now if you want to change this color, you can change this color as well. So you can go with the index.css. Now here we given .bg color. Here I will say .bg primary. For that, I will just give the same background color, background property. And here I will just change the color dark. And here something called dark green. Now save it. Now here we got something called dark green. We got just the color of dark green. Okay. Now in the same way, I want to design this profile component. So let's go to the profile component. So still we have not written any logic. We are just focusing on the UI part. UI part. So let me go here. Let me go to the profile component. This is the profile component. So what I want just a simple card here. So simply I will take class name equals to container. The same thing, row and call and card. Row, call, card. And in this card header and one card body. Now in the card header, I want one image here, img src something, some image. And here I will just give a width 100% and height 100%. And I will just close this image. Okay. Now here we need to display the image which will come from the server. In the card body, here I want something called h2, some name here I want. As of now, I am just giving hard-coded name. Then I want here one bio, some bio. So like 20. Then I need one button here. I just need one button called profile. And just want to make bootstrap button, class name equals to btn-btn, something like outline success. Done. We have just created this one. Here I just want to display some dummy image as of now, just dummy image I want to display. So I will go for this pixel and I will search here something called mail. Now I got certain image. I will just copy this image link and I will come and I will paste here. So as of now, I am hard coding this image here, but this image should come from the server. Now if I go here, now here we got the profile component. Okay, like this name, some bio, and one button. We got one button here, like this. So if you want to just increase button little bit, px-3, save. Now this button, what if I can say px-4, save. Now again we got the button. This is the profile button. Okay. Now can I make here image? I want that image to take and some completely. So instead of this, if I remove this and if I save it, now I got something like this. And if I give something like here, class name equals to image fluid and save it. Now I got like this. Okay, this is how we are going to display the image. Now if you want some gap between this component and this component, simply I will go to this container, profile container, and I will say here empty-5. If I say empty-5, then I will get some gap between the components, this component and profile component. Or I can go with empty-3. This is the component. Okay. Now we need to create details component also. We need to create details component. So I will go to the details.component. So meanwhile, any doubts up to here? Anyone have any doubts? So we are just creating UI. Till now, we have just created UI. We have not written any logics here. Just we focused on the UI. So first let's create the UI, then we will write the logic. So anyone have any doubts up to here? So we are using same container row card. So I hope you guys are understanding it. I just don't want to use extra bootstrap classes. Okay, done. So now let's create details component. So I will go to that details component. Here also same thing I will do. I will just take one container. Then here one row. Entire call. In that card header. Then card body. Now in this card body, I want to display the data in UL format. Just UL. So for this UL, I will give some class called list group, list-group. Okay. Then in that, I just want to take some li. And for this, I will give some class name equals to something like list group -item. Okay. In this header, I will just take something like h2 and I will say user details. Now, if you want here, you can give some bg, some color like let me go with bg primary text white. Done. Now here we have just created a li like this. I want to create multiple li's. Okay, here I just want to show something like name, and here some name. Okay, so as of now I'm just showing something like Kabir. Here in the same way I want to show something like city, where I will just say something like Delhi. Here I want to show some more data like repo, some repo link here like this. Now if I save it and come here, now I got something like this. Okay, something like this. I'm just going to repeat this same thing. I will try to repeat. Later on we will change the data. As of now I'm just hard coding the data. We'll change that data. Now I got something like this. Now I want this also. I want some gap from the top. So I will go to this container. Simply I will say empty3, empty-3 and save it. Now I got same, they are in the same line. I got some gap from empty3, empty3. Now this is your, this one, details component. Okay. So here image, image is not working right here. I should give 100%. And width equals to 100%. Now like this, how many details you want to display, that many details you can display. That's totally your wish, how many details you want to display. And still, if you want to create some more components here, you can create with some more components. So I will just go to this profile, and instead of this 20 lorem 20, I will simply say lorem something like 10 and tab, save it. A little bit small. Let me take some other image here. Copy image link and let me display it. We got this image. Okay. Now this is how you can just display some image, some name, some bio. And if I click on this profile button, then I should navigate to this user's GitHub account. I should navigate to user's GitHub account. Now here I can display whatever details I want to display. So I will just go to here details, user details. Still, if I want to display certain more details, I will just copy this and I will just display that data also. Now you got like this. Now here you can display whatever data you want to display. This is your GitHub. So now if you say Kabir Sagi and click on search, I should get my details. If I say here Apple and click on search, then I should get Apple details. If I search you guys some name, someone's name like Sachin, then I click on search, then I should get Sachin's details here. Okay, this is how we have to get it. So this is home, this is GitHub search, then I will show you profile also. We will use this profile also. So here now we have to do lot of things. First of all, we have to take the data from this text box. We have to take the data from text box, and I hope you guys know how to take the data from this text box, right? So I want you guys to try this once. So you today try. So what you have to do, you have to just search here some name Kabir Sagi like this, and if you have to click on this button, if you click on this button, you have to send the request to this API. And here in this API, here you have to send that data, whatever data you have in the text box. Now, once you send that data, then you will get this response, right? Now, this response you have to store in the Redux. You have to store in the Redux. That's it. At least do up to here. Whether you are able to, anyways, I will also show you, but I just want you guys to try it because now already it's like we have only 8 minutes, right? So I cannot proceed with the next set of functionality. So next set of functionality we will see in our next session. So I just wanted to ask, do you want session tomorrow or do you want holiday? Because tomorrow we have the Christmas, right? So I don't have any problem to take the session tomorrow. If you're ready, then I can take the session. So let me know what you want. Anyways, Sunday I will take the session. Sunday we will have the session. Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Continuously we will have the session till we finish it completely now. So if you want tomorrow holiday, then we will take holiday. If you want session, then I will take session. But Sunday we'll have the session. Okay. Sunday I will let you know the time. Nikita will let you know the time. So Sunday, can we take the session at 10 a.m., 10 to 12 or around 11:30? Okay, is it okay for everyone?
Yes,
Shani,
sir.
Venkatesh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sunday. Okay, this is on Sunday. So what about tomorrow? Do you want session? Oh, okay, Sachin wants session. What about Shani and Del? I don't know what is your name. Smita, Venkatesh.
If possible on Sunday, it is okay.
Okay, Sunday we will have anyways. Okay, let's do one thing. Just let's cancel the session on Saturday, and you guys just enjoy the Christmas. And if you get time, just try to implement this. Okay, just try to implement this. On Sunday, we'll have the session. Okay, at 10 a.m., 10 to 11:30 or 12. We'll see that how it goes. And the same then Monday, our regular time at 7 a.m. So we will have the 7 a.m. on Monday. So from Monday, Tuesday, every day we will have at the 7 a.m. Okay. Yeah. If you have any doubts, just let me know. So at least you create up to here. Whatever we have created, just create up to here. All the things. Okay. Try to implement Redux. Because storing the data in Redux is same in functional component also. What we did in the class component, same way we are going to follow in the functional component to store the data. Just to get the data, we have different approach in functional component. In class component, we used connect method, connect function, right? Here we will not use connect. Here we will have some hooks, predefined hooks. So we are going to use that hooks. Okay, just try up to here. In case if you get any doubts, just let me know. Okay, on Sunday session. So our next session will be on Sunday from 10 a.m. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, yeah, you can leave the session.